G'day fellas. Welcome to the fourth game of DauT versus Viper in Age of Empires 3. Now you might be wondering, what the heck are these guys doing playing Age of Empires 3? I typed in Viper's name on YouTube and this came up. Yep. We paid them money to come over here and fight to the death in Age of Empires 3, a game they are both unfamiliar with. We said we're going to give them the best shot that they've got. We're going to put them in the Blind Civ series. The Blind Civ series, if you're wondering, the Blind Civ series works on a point system. So instead of a player winning and getting 1 point, a player wins based on the civilization that they select. So the more chosen civilizations, the more often a civilization is chosen, the less points it gets. The less it gets chosen, the more points it gets. And we also throw in, depending on how good the civilization is or not, the idea is that we want to incentivize players to play lesser played civilizations, because it's a bit of like that sort of, how do you say, a little bit more chance. So anyway, we've got DauT playing the Dutch, spawning in on the west of the map, and his opponent, Viper, spawning in as the Japanese. So Viper definitely playing a lot of complex civilizations. Every single civilization that Viper has played so far has been, in my opinion, one of some of the most complex civilizations. So we haven't seen any France out of him. We haven't seen, I mean, I'm just going to say we haven't seen any France out of him. I would have loved to have seen some France. France are a very simple civilization, very easy to execute, got very straightforward build orders. We see DauT now picking up a treasure in the middle of the map. We'll take a look at Viper. We'll see what he's up to. Moving out his explorers, looking for those treasures. He's doing a little bit of exploring. Got his Mongol scout out here in the early game. And we've got, on the back line, we've got a couple of cows or a single cow that Viper hadn't been moving in yet. DauT's doing a good job of picking them all up. So far, we take a look at all the cows that he's got. For whatever reason, my button isn't working that selects all units. And unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly how many he's got. But I would suspect that it is a lot, because he's got more and more cows up here to the north. Going to be looking to potentially take out this treasure as well. We hear a treasure going down somewhere. We'll take a look and see where it is. It's down here to the south. So Viper now picking up the 75 coin treasure. We'll take a look at DauT's deck, see what he's got. He's got the 3 settlers coming in. Going with, it's called the beginner deck, but it is not. It is just a standard deck, and he's got the 3 floits in there. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I feel like you've got to pronounce it like Reuter, so floita. He's got the 3 floits in there. I threw on like a little bit of an accent there. I don't know what kind of accent that was. Now Viper picking up a cow. So both players having a little bit of unfamiliarity with the yaks and the way that it works. It takes some time to get used to. Now obviously Age of Empires 2 has got that, he's got that, you know, that livestock in there, but it takes a while to get familiar with it. We'll take a look over on Viper's perspective, see what is happening at this point. We've got a whole bunch of villagers that are in the town center. So, he's actually looking to kill the envoy, so not sure if he's going to be able to do it. Getting it down to 119 hit points and then moving his villagers over here. So going with 2 in-base shrines at this point. The game is running a little bit slow. They're chopping a little bit slow. Viper now going to be picking up a 65 ginkgo treasure and poofing back one of his explorers to the base because he grew aggro with it. But is that a bit big brain? I don't know. Gets the divine strike on the first lion-tailed macaque. Second lion-tailed macaque is going to begin wailing away at him. He's going to be absolutely fine picking up that one. We're going to speed up the game just because it's running a little bit slow at this early stage in the game. We'll take a look. There's still all of this livestock throughout the map, but just keep in mind, he's bringing this one back, but it can be a bit hard. The livestock isn't in predetermined places like it is in Age of Empires 2. It's even though it's random in Age of Empires 2, you can sort of like guess where it's going to be. Now, we've got DauT going up with the quartermaster. So, looking like he wants to sort of macro for that FF. Now, keep in mind, okay, the bank in transition build order didn't come along until like 2008, 2009. So, DauT isn't really going to be familiar with it. He stopped playing, I think, in about 2007, I think is when DauT stopped playing. Maybe even 2006. Actually, now that I think about it, before I started playing online, DauT had stopped playing online. I actually thought DauT and Urk were the same people. So the name Urk, it's written like... I can't even type it in. Let me try my best. I'm going to... No, my enter key isn't working. I can't type it in. But yeah, his name was Urk. I used to think that they were the same person, but they weren't. Just because their names were very similar, they both capitalized the letter at the end of their name. The D looked like the O. The T was capitalized as well. And so I must have just been... yeah, I must have been a little bit... maybe my reading wasn't the best, but... yeah, DauT stopped playing after, I think it was after the vanilla version of the game. We've now got Viper, who, playing on the Chinese, definitely needing a bit of help with his build order at the moment because we're at 4 minutes 36 and he doesn't have his age up in queue yet. DauT has already aged up at 4 minutes 30, so going up with that 17 villager. Now, what I would expect that we see here from DauT is he's either going to do 700 coin or 700 wood, and he does the 700 wood, so I think he's going to be doing a 3-bank FF, which is like the old school... this is the old school build order that we used to do back in the day. This was literally it. Like, look how many resources are being floated. This build order comes from like 2007, man, 2006. It's crazy to see him doing this stuff. I love that he still remembers it, man. Like, this is what he does. So you get the bank down with the 400 wood, you send the 700 wood, you get the 2 more banks down, and then you age up after you send the 700 coin. Oh my, it's going to be perfect. It's exactly what he's going to do. I can't wait to see this. We've got a little bit of action now in the middle. Mongol Scout fighting against the Mongol Scout. Going to be taken out by Peter Rupp. And so now we've got that first bank going down. Are we going to see that second bank going down? Where is it? Come on, show me that second bank. I want to see it. Second bank now going down. Oh, he's sending the bank wagon, so not sending the 700 coin. Oh, okay, I thought he was going to do the 700 coin. That was the old school build order. We'll take a look at Viper. We'll see what he is on the way up. Oh, it's a bit of a late age up, I would say. Going up with the Toshogu Shrine, putting it in the back of his base, nice and safe, tucked away. 6 minutes 16. Viper only just getting the age up in queue now, dropping the market down with the 4 villagers. Wants to get his market upgrades urgently in. Now age up is in queue. And they're playing one of the more complex civilizations, the Japanese. Let's see what he does. He sends in the 2 Cherry Orchid Rickshaws as the first card. I've got a feeling at the moment that Viper's probably just given up on this series. He said, you know what? I've been outmatched completely by DauT at this point. So we're going to just tune in on DauT. We're going to watch and see what he does. DauT with the 4-bank FF here. Definitely macroing towards that age up. Booby Pisty in the chat saying, I like that Viper rejects the fast age 2 meta. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. It's probably going to need a bit of work on. But it's to be expected. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of familiarity with the game. Now going up with religious freedom. So it's so great to watch DauT play and see these old build orders coming back. And so aging up now, going to be going up with the Exiled Prince, I would assume. Probably not going to be going up with the Sergeant at Arms. Don't show me the Sergeant at Arms. The Admiral of the Ocean Sea. What is this, DauT? I can't believe you, DauT. Oh, going up with the Admiral of the Ocean Sea. So going to be getting a Caravel and 400 wood out of this one, but it's really not. It's not going to be doing a lot. I mean, he's going to be getting 400 wood out of it, but you got to remember, okay, age ups take a lot longer in the definitive edition than they do in the original game. So it's. I guess it is pretty big brain. 400 wood in age 2, 400 wood to age 3. That church is going to be going up, getting the coffee trade. Okay. I'm going to slow down the game just so I can talk about this. Dutch used to have a bank build limit of 4. They have a bank build limit of 5, but he thinks that they still have a bank build limit of 4 because he's getting coffee trade. Oh man, this is so. It's like I'm literally seeing like 2007 coming right before my eyes. It's beautiful. It's great to see. And now, so we don't have any. We've got the first military production building going up. Fitzbro in the chat saying Viper is going to hate this game now. Well, yeah, it's one of those games that's a little bit more difficult to learn than Age of Empires 2. I say that, no, you know what? Age of Empires 2 is quite difficult to learn as well. I'll give it its credit. I don't know if it's credit or like what is better to be said. But I feel like it's both games are quite complex, and you need to spend more than an hour or 2 just getting familiar with it. You probably got to dedicate a good 10 hours or so to it. And for a guy like Viper, that can be kind of hard to do. Now, interestingly, one of the things that I will talk about, this is a cord of 400 wood that just comes in as a single cord. It doesn't come in as 4 separate cords anymore. Can we make the quartermaster do this? Can we make it so the quartermaster is like this? That'd be so much easier to micro. We've now got Rota being trained by DauT. DauT is pulling ahead in score, about a 3k lead, 4k lead now. Those Dutchies do pull ahead quite a bit. El Bolo's Guapo, long lost feed bag, which reduces cavalry training time by 5%. Going to be picked up here by DauT. Definitely going to be using that to his advantage. He's got the 5 Reuters here. 10 Reuters. Viper now hitting the Fortress Age behind this. Doing the classic double samurai build. Got a military rickshaw here as well. So a whole bunch of Ashigaru as well as samurai. Samurai now popping out. Viper definitely having a little bit more fun in this in this game than he was earlier in the series. I can say that much. When you've got this many samurai, you're always having fun. This much is to be sure. Reuter now pushing in. Got trading posts beginning to get taken by DauT. More banks going up. We've now got a total of 7 banks at 11 minutes for DauT. So DauT is going to be absolutely massacring the resources gathered at the end of this game. Viper with a couple of forward villages up on this front coin mine. Going to get picked off by the Reuter. We've now got disciplined samurai coming in. Looking forward to seeing the samurais finally meeting their makers in those Reuters. Going to be sending in 5 Naginata in from the home city, despite spotting those Reuters. But I guess it might just be that he simply doesn't know what that is. But we've now got a little bit of a role reversal. DauT with the villager out on this coin mine. So they've got 5,000 coin in their base, but both of them are opting for this central coin mine. Viper taking down. And now we've got the samurai moving in. This is exactly what I wanted to see. The samurai, can they get the snare? I don't think they're going to be able to do it. A bit of toxic pull tricking right here. A bit of toxic kiting maybe. Getting the shot off, but look at the damage that's coming out on the samurai. The samurai are doing quite well. Looks like he's going to be able to pull away from it. 18 damage on these bad guys. Has he got Cav Combat in already? Let's take a look. He's got Cav Combat in already. And DauT's sending in another. He's getting in the Bank of Rotterdam at this point. He's really going all ham out on resources. He's got so many resources at the moment, he can't even keep up with it. He's stacking right now 2,900 resources. Just dropping over to 3k resources. Bank of Rotterdam is in, doing his best to try and micro with the Reuters, and doing a pretty good job of it. Viper managing to get on top of him, but down a fair amount of score right now. Now, keep in mind, a lot of that score that he's down is in the form of floated resources. His army is slowly being dwindled down. He's down to 6 Reuters at this point. And despite sending in the Bank of Rotterdam, I probably would have liked to have seen maybe the 8 skirmishers or the 9 Reuters sent in from the home city. And Viper, or DauT now dropping down the triple stable. You love to see it. This is exactly what I was hoping to see. Triple stable. He's taking advantage of this treasure that he got earlier. That 5% training time reduction is going to be carried over into all 3 of these stables. So technically 15% reduction in training time. Slowly getting a trade off. About 5k score ahead at this point in time. And I suspect at this point we're just going to see more mass Reuters. And at this point in time, I don't know what Japan can possibly do against massed up Reuters like that. I'm guessing maybe more samurais is probably it. This is decent. Like, he's actually going to have an insane amount of Reuters that come out. Look at the Reuters that he's got in production right now. So now stepping it up, really going ham, really taking advantage of that 5% training time reduction. You love to see it. And finally, the Explorer now for the Viper going to be going down. Getting some villagers in on the action as well. Now, these yaks at the back, 250 fattened up or food, so not too bad. Going to be taking advantage of those. Nagis at the top here. Reuter's going to be going up to meet them. Now, keep in mind, these Reuters are a little bit slower than normal because they've got the coffee trade debuff, which reduces the speed of the Dutch army by 10%. Now, that's the entire land military. That is, that's artillery, that's cavalry, that's skirmishers, pikemen, absolutely everything is reduced by that. And now we've got Bank of Amsterdam coming in. Please tell me we've got that 8th bank. We've got 8 banks. We're going to get 9 banks. So DauT really leading the meta here in you know, just really making sure he gets all of those banks out. He's got so many resources, he doesn't know what to do with them at this point. He's got 7 idols. Got to fix those up. He does indeed. He picks up the idols. I'll tell you what, Age of Empires 3 can be hard to see your idols, so not surprised at all. We've got a shrine now being burnt down by a Viper, or one of Viper's shrines being burnt down, and now we do see the disciplined samurai coming out. If they can manage to connect with the veteran Reuter, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to be in a world of hurt. Does he manage to connect them? He manages to connect them. Oh, they absolutely shred through. Doing a lot of work, chasing after the Reuter. And now we've got the samurai. I love the way that they're running Naruto style. Look at that. You guys see? Running Naruto style with the sword behind their backs towards the base of DauT. And we move towards the middle of the game. We've got triple racks versus triple stable. A little bit of a raid in the north. The 5 Nagi finding some villagers. So Viper definitely not out of it at this point. Behind a little bit in score, but keep in mind there's a lot of banks out on the field now for DauT. He's got 8 banks up. He's got a 9th bank that he can potentially build as well. Reuter's going to meet the Nagis on the back line. Try and save the life of this one villager. 37 HP. Looks like he's not going to be able to pull it up, but we've got a huge mass coming out now for Viper. This is a really decent mass. DauT is going to have to do more than micro to get rid of this mass because you got Yuumi archers in the mix. These are disciplined Yuumi archers, so really DauT was trying to do the no barracks challenge, but I feel like he's probably going to have to add one at this point because these Yuumi archers are going to be able to deal with it quite effectively. We've got more Reuters that he could probably bring down and fight against this. Maybe switch it up. Take a look at the macro at the moment. Not the best, despite having 3 stables. Only training units out of 1 at the moment. The Reuters moving forward now. Now, it doesn't have the range cavalry caracol upgrade for them yet. The Samurai's moving into the action. Swords behind the backs. Take a look how beautiful they look. Don't they look absolutely awesome when they get that little run on? See that little run that they do? Kick to the face, takes down the first Reuter. Second Reuter coming up for it. Doesn't matter. Gonna be getting some kicks onto these villagers. Villagers going down. More villagers going down. It looks like Viper's actually in quite a good position. He's down 4k score, but he's up a whole lot. Primarily because there's a lot of floated resources right here. We've got 2 shipments in the bank. Nothing's coming through yet. No 9 Reuters has come out just yet. We're going to speed up the game just a little bit. More Reuters training at the moment. I'm expecting to see maybe some Hussars here potentially. We've got veteran Hussars now coming out, which is the correct play. I think it's important to mix up the units against the disciplined Yuumi. They're going to be difficult to deal with. Just fighting them with veteran cavalry. Viper's probably wondering at this point, what the hell beats these damn units? Because nothing seems to be beating him. And I tell you what, Viper, I'm wondering the same thing. You just got to keep making those Yuumis, my friend. Yuumis are going to be doing absolutely fine against those. Some Ashigaru now on the top side of the map. We'll speed it up just a little bit. Got some Samurai coming out. Going for that nice 3-unit composition. The Ashigaru, the Samurai, and the Yuumi. Oh, we hear those explorers waking up. Both of them, one at a time now. We've got a yak here that seems to have been deleted. Or rather just not eaten yet. 18 villagers in the town center. DauT now pushing, or preparing to be pushed in. Viper pushing him. Beginning to siege that town center. 3 falconets in the back. Just when you thought he was okay doing the no-racks challenge, he drops it down. Also calling the ward gelders from the home cities. So the Stratius popping out. And now DauT probably going to be able to clean this one up because the 3 falconets on the back line are going to be able to do some work. He needs to make sure the Samurais are connecting with the ward gelders, and it looks like they are. We've got a couple of Yuumis here on the front line, but he needs to pull them back. Muskets over on the backhand side. The Ashigaru Musketeers doing work. Nice micro here from DauT. He's got to be careful though. His falconet's bugging out a little bit. 3 more reinforcing Samurai now. Potentially another pop of cavalry. Look at, he's got the pop absolutely worked out. Really nice pop right there from DauT. DauT knows exactly what he's doing. Pulling ahead with the score at this point and absolutely cleaning up the army at the same time, sending in refrigeration from the home city. So really just taking advantage of his economy. Wants to gather these berries extra fast, and refrigeration is the way to do it. Refrigeration is going to be a great way to utilize these berries in your base that otherwise would be pretty useless. So great way to do that rather than transitioning over to mills. And now we see DauT pushing out with a 10k score lead, and I think that we can probably say that at this time, the game it's only a matter of time until this game is over. It's going to be incredibly difficult for Viper to deal with the army of DauT, just without any kind of military reinforcing it, like in the form of, say, flaming arrows. Flaming arrows would probably be the best bet here, but he is sending in 1,000 coin, so we'll see. Maybe he does potentially have a castle going up and looking to train flaming arrows, but I don't think we do. Now gathering up that 1,000 coin. Going to be pushing out, seeing if he can fight against the falconets. You see the split going down. He's splitting up the army manually. This is exactly what we're talking about. It's 900 ELO... 2k ELO micro, 900 ELO macro, and that's exactly what it is. We've got, like, the splits there. I had it on going quite fast, but you saw how quickly he split those units up. He saw the falconets coming in, and he's just like, I'm going to split you, split you, split you. And now we can hear Kaiser Klein imploring Viper to resign at this point, saying, I know that you're on match point for the series, but I implore you. I implore you to resign. We've got DauT taking all of the trading posts. 3 He's got 3 shipments banked up. So I guess one of the things to remember is shipments become less and less, I guess, relevant throughout the game. The longer the game goes on, you become less reliant on them. In the early game, you're very reliant on them, but towards the end of the game, a lot less reliant. And now we've got the samurai moving forward. Looks like the samurai having a little bit of a fit on the floor. Their legs just they've given up. But we see the cannonball just sitting back here, still providing line of sight. DauT now going up with the logistician to age 4. I don't actually know what the logistician provides. That is a good point. What does the logistician do? No, I don't even know. Is it the fort? I think the fort is the logistician, right? I'm not too sure what the logistician is. But we're going to have to keep watching now. We've got the samurai mass moving in. Look at Viper. He's like, you know what? I fucking love samurais. He's actually going to be able to deal with this really effectively. I think... If as long as he can take out the falconets. But the problem was he couldn't get on top of the falconets immediately. And he cops a lot of volleys to the face. He needs to really focus down these falconets. But we see that the falconets are still managing to do it. And Viper calling good game. Making it his last hurrah. DauT ahead by 14k score. And with that, DauT seals the victory. Racking up the full 10 points that he needs to win. And that, my friends, is the end of the series. Now, I know that wasn't the highest level of series when it comes to what you're used to in Age of Empires 3. It's important that you understand these players are Age of Empires 2 pros, not Age of Empires 3. But nonetheless, I hope that you've enjoyed this series. A little bit of a crossover event, having Age of Empires 2 pros come into Age of Empires 3. I would just hate to imagine what it would look like watching Kaiserklein and H battle it out on Age of Empires 2. But maybe that's a good idea. EGCTV, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? Fellas, I hope that you enjoyed this show match. Don't go anywhere, because we've got one more show match coming up for you. It's going to be an absolute blast. We have got Don Artie versus Aliuk. Aussie, check out the poll. What do you want to see? Let me have a look. DauT versus a good Age of Empires 3 amateur. 2s, Age of Empires 3 Pro plus Age of Empires 3 Pro, or no gimmicks, Age of Empires 3 Pros. I want to see DauT versus a good Age of Empires 3 amateur. DauT is legitimately a really good player, man. Honestly, watching his build orders, he needs a little bit of work, but I am so impressed. I would love to see, DauT go up against a good amateur. Maybe somebody I'd say Harrison, but that's probably, I don't think Harrison counts as an amateur. Who do we get him up against? You couldn't go against, Don Artie. Don Artie would be way too good for him. Don's a pro. I don't know. I think even maybe I'm a little bit too good. You got to go someone a little bit lower. Who else have we got? Who have we got? Kaiserklein's a bit too high. DauT versus Drongo. Oh, please don't embarrass me. Please don't embarrass me like that. DauT versus Lenna. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, we could do that. Oh, Fitzbro's saying he wants to introduce him to the Tushunki. Fitzbro. It sounds a little bit like Fitzbro's putting out a challenge over there. Riot Coke, some ideas. I like this. I can get behind this. I think DauT has got a lot of potential, man. Honestly, he was looking good in these games. He was looking really good. Drongo with low tier civs and decks. Hey, Axel, I'd take any of these Age of Empires 2 pros to school, mate. Age of Empires 3, Age of Empires 2, I'll do it in both. You watch me. Vividly Plain saying I'll do it. Hey, Vivid, we said amateur. We don't want those pros. We don't want the pros to do it. Kevin Italian is a good amateur. You're funny, Harrison. You're funny. Maybe Samurai Revolution? Yeah, maybe. That's not a bad suggestion. Not a bad suggestion. I know. I think DauT's definitely a little bit maybe a little bit too quick for Samurai Revolution.